Is there a red light on there?
No.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, there's on the red light. I want to stay behind you the whole time. We got some great footage.
Stay behind me the whole time, get some great footage. Famous last words, Jose. All right, we're off. I think the start of this race caught everyone a little by surprise. The official was doing some weird stuff at the beginning there, but this is Chris right behind me here. You can see he was definitely caught off guard fixing his shoes. He didn't even have them buckled yet, leaving gaps already. This is Oakfire Speakeasy Crit, first one of its kind, the P123 field limit of 30 people. Unfortunately, my front camera is not working, so I'm trying to supplement with the Strava flyby there on the left side. You can kind of see the dots moving around. I'm the little black dot. There's a couple people in front of me right now, including, I think Scott was the one that went off hard at the beginning. You've got the Elbros gang up there, Zach and Andy. There's some CCR guys up there, Emiliano, who I just passed there, just past Andy. Justin Stanley was up there as well. That was Scott that was doing the hard pull at the beginning. And Zach's still in front of me here right now, but I'll power through him in a minute. Yeah, so some cycling channels, you know, they like to show off their good strategies, superior cycling strength and skill. You know, this is not that channel. I make a lot of mistakes in this race. I'm going to talk about them. This is probably the first one. I went through the front of the race here, and then I didn't look over my shoulder to see if anyone was with me, and no one was. And I still didn't know that nobody was with me at this point. And you know, I'm not the strongest guy in the world. This section of the race is uphill, so I'm gonna blip up to 1,000 watts here, trying to hit this uphill. When I've already got a gap, there's no reason for me to be doing this on lap 1. I'm just changing it to lap 2 here. But I think this was the first mistake I made. I was feeling really good at the beginning of this race and wasn't paying attention to how my legs were feeling. Yeah, and that hurt me a little bit later into the race, about halfway through, but we'll get to that point eventually. So Emiliano bridges over here. He's going to bring Andy with him. And the rest of the free bike gang comes across. Yep, this is the first crit race of the season for me. So I'm coming off a fresh season of mountain biking. Definitely a different game here. This is a little more chess. I'm used to the checkers. Just put out watts for an hour and a half to 3 hours, depending on the race. Is mountain biking. This one's a little different. Trying to be efficient in drafts and things like that is not my forte. So we're on lap 2 here, and you know, you're already starting to see Andy's face here. That was a fast start. You can see it. Even Justin here is reaching in his back pocket, grabbing some food. To be fair, I'm pretty sure he rode down from like Austin or Dallas or something, so he's had a long day already. And he's gonna come just bully everyone in this crit too. So I think at this point I've been doing a little bit too much work, but I take this corner wide, let some people get in front of me, try to get some benefit of some draft here. This venue was amazing. We're at the Oakfire Speakeasy, which is, I guess, I think they're still building it, but it seems like it's some catering, good hangout spot. They've got food, beer, wine, out in the countryside just north of San Antonio. I think it's, I don't know how to pronounce it, Bulverde, Texas. This is on Saturday, March 7th, 2020. This is the Saturday right before the first week of the driveway series starting. And this is really convenient for me to kind of warm up for driveway. They actually have payout at this race. They paid out $1,000, 5 places deep. And so when I was looking at this crit on Bike Reg, there were less than 10 people pre-registered for the P123 race. And figured, yeah, might as well try my luck. That's some pretty good betting odds. But unfortunately, bike racing, unlike gambling, is not straight random chance. You actually need to have some strength, maybe some skill, a little strategy. Strategy would have helped me a lot in this race. I don't have a lot of it. Beginning of this race, I was leaving quite a few gaps, still trying to find my distance and my comfort on my road bike, but started to get a lot more comfortable about halfway through this race. The small field size was really helpful here. It was limited to 30 riders, which you can see this is a fairly narrow path. I think it was designed to, you know, put a golf cart on. It's not till you get to the front stretch, and we're rounding this last corner here. And if you look off to the right side of your screen, you'll actually see the entrance driveway. There's that ATV right there at the beginning. They're kind of the pace car for bringing you in when you drive into the venue, because there's crits going on when you come in, so they have to escort you up through this is the widest part of the crit here, this driveway. And once you get up this hill, then there's the right turn off to the right side, or left turn I guess, off to the right side of your screen there, where all the spectators are in the specialized tent. That's where the parking is back there. They limited the field size to 30 because of parking restrictions, I guess, but it was a fairly big parking lot. They definitely could have more people parked back there, I think, but with the course being so narrow, the field size of 30 was appropriate. I don't think you want to fit too many people on there. So if we're looking off to the left side of the screen with the Strava flyby, you can see we're already starting to drop a few people. Ramsey Foster I was hoping he would be my teammate in this race, but he had just had a really challenging Masters race and had won that, so congrats to him. And this race started immediately after, so I was going to get no help from him in this race because of that. He was already gassed. The first 3 to 5 laps of this race was just basically continuous attacks, people powering through. And you can see on the flyby right here, we're all still pretty much together. We dropped a couple people at this point, but there's still a pretty big peloton. There's no flyers out the front or brakes or anything. You'll see that's about to change though. I think right after we round this corner, we're going to see some gaps start forming. The rider in the yellow helmet that you see slot into the back there, his name's Joseph. He started late, I believe, and so is just slotting into the back here just to get a workout in. I think he's down a lap already. So the rider on my wheel there in the Blitz kit, that's Jason. We end up spending a lot of time together in this race just because we both end up getting dropped about halfway through, but you start to see the dots and the flyby there on the left starting to get a little strung out. It hurts going up this hill every lap. This is a fairly steep hill for a crit course. I think this is the first break that really forms in this race. I think it's Andy, Emiliano, and Spencer up there, and a group of 3. And we'll see that we do actually reel this pack of 3 riders back in before this lap is over, but riders would reel them back in. It serves as kind of a catalyst for the next break launching of Zach and Justin, and that's the one that actually makes it to the end here. Go ahead and skip to the end of this lap. We'll see what happens. Alright, end of this lap. You can see the group's mostly back together here. We're gonna go up this hill mostly together and watch another break form here over the top of the hill. Starting to get strung out a little bit around this corner. Gaps start forming, and Justin Stanley and Zach Stein, I believe, this is when they form their gap. And they're actually able to hold this gap all the way to the end of the race. Okay, so we're back. 13 laps into the race. You can see there's no one behind me, so I'm starting to trail off the back a little bit here, but I'm still mostly in contact with the group. We're going up that hill again, and we'll watch another split happen here. So Justin and Zach still up front in the pink and yellow circles on your flyby on the left side. I'm starting to struggle to get up this hill a little bit. You see, I think Andy, Spencer from Super Squadra, some of the CCR guys, Scott and Emiliano, I believe. they start to get some separation here. And peloton splits in two. And I am hurting too much and too far back to even know this is happening. The field is splintered at this point. There's the lead pack of 2, then a pack of 5 or 6 behind them, and then kind of some trailers off behind that. And this is basically where my race is over. Spend the rest of the race riding with Chris there, who's on my wheel, and Jason and the Blitz kit there. And we had quite a bit of fun once we start to settle down and get into a rhythm. I don't think we ever get contact again with the second break there, though. It's really strung out at this point. Alright, so last part of the race here, we're less than a lap and a half to go. You can see Chris is looking over his shoulder there. That's because the leaders are about to catch us. You can see, look, Chris looks over. You can actually probably see, yeah, there he looks over. You can see Justin and Zach, if you look carefully, you can see him coming around the corner there at the end for the final straight for the finish. About 2 minutes per lap, so I'm guessing they're, I don't know, minute and a half, minute 40, something like that in front of us. Okay, that's the bell, so this is 1 lap to go. Had Chris power around through there. He said he didn't want the leaders to catch us right there at the end, so put in a little test sprint with 1 lap to go, feeling each other out. Listen to the announcer as we round his booth here. Yeah, he says the winner was Justin Stanley today, which is not true. It's actually Zach that won, so I thought that was interesting. I don't know who's feeding this guy information. So we're coming into last lap, and the 3 of us have been working together most of the race, and we're sprinting for, I don't know, maybe 10th place? No, it's probably higher than that. Probably like 7th. So we started with about 30, dropped most people. There was a breakaway at 2, pack of about 6. You can see that pack of about 6 is finishing now. I think Spencer won that pack sprint. We're passing Kuya here at the end. I think he was just cruising a lap. I think he was already down a lap. So Spencer won that pack sprint, and then, you know, we were starting to play games for 7th to 10th. I don't actually know what position I ended up getting, but Jason's up front. We ran the last corner, and I basically flick on the watts right out of that last corner. Try to go wide around Jason so he can't get in my draft too much. I look behind, see I've got a good gap, and try to swing over to the other side so he can't grab on my wheel too easily. Get the straightest line to the finish. But yeah, I think I realized I had a pretty good gap on him by this point, so there was the finish line there right next to that black Specialized tent. So yeah, fun race, great venue, can't wait to do it again. Jelly and Jam Racing had a great promotion. Oakfire Speakeasy was super hospitable, and can't wait to be back. But thanks for watching. Smash that like button. And hopefully I'll be able to get some of this content out quicker. Plan on making some driveway series videos this season as well. And hopefully I can get my front camera working. Alright, thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.